Lena Grusko lives in Jerusalem and has just started a huge project. I caught up with her to find out what that project is.
We have a project which named Mahaseh. In English it's refuge, and we took this name from Psalm 90. In English it's Lord is our refuge and our dwelling place, and in Hebrew it's Elohai Mahasi Mitzudati, and I believe that God is our refuge, and everybody who is in need, who is suffering from abuse or violence in any situation in life, at home, in the street, or because of faith, God is providing refuge, and we try to create a helpful network to support people in difficult situations, especially people in Israel who is falling down between chairs, who is believer or Christian or new immigrant or somebody who has no maybe visa or has no work, people who is not managing with social department, and also we're working with social service. They're sending for us people for whom they have not solutions. So we just try to do something new and different because we have a team, and our work is we're taking family like a whole unity, so we try to help at the same time to wife and husband and children, and we're giving counseling also for men. And our main aim definitely is reconciliation. So when we have a little possibility to save family, to help men and women to come together back after crisis or in the time of destruction, we try to use any possibility.
So are there many women who are abused in Israel?
You know, we have numbers from WITSO and from Knesset. It's about 200,000 women. And
Lena Grusko lives in Jerusalem and has just started a huge project. I caught up with her to find out what that project is.
We have a project which named Mahaseh. In English it's refuge, and we took this name from Psalm 90. In English it's Lord is our refuge and our dwelling place, and in Hebrew it's Elohai Mahasi Mitzudati, and I believe that God is our refuge, and everybody who is in need, who is suffering from abuse or violence in any situation in life, at home, in the street, or because of faith, God is providing refuge, and we try to create a helpful network to support people in difficult situations, especially people in Israel who is falling down between chairs, who is believer or Christian or new immigrant or somebody who has no maybe visa or has no work, people who is not managing with social department, and also we're working with social service. They're sending for us people for whom they have not solutions. So we just try to do something new and different because we have a team, and our work is we're taking family like a whole unity, so we try to help at the same time to wife and husband and children, and we're giving counseling also for men. And our main aim definitely is reconciliation. So when we have a little possibility to save family, to help men and women to come together back after crisis or in the time of destruction, we try to use any possibility.
So are there many women who are abused in Israel?
You know, we have numbers from WITSO and from Knesset. It's about 200,000 women and 600,000 children who are witnesses for violence at home. But it's only numbers from the social services. And I know that it's much more women who are suffering, but silently.
That's quite a high number, isn't it?
It's a huge number.
And of course, there'll be more people who are silent, who aren't complaining, who aren't saying they're being beaten and abused, so that the number's probably going to be a lot more.
Definitely, for sure. And many women who are coming to our place, they never complained for social workers. So because we are mainly serving for believers, for women from Messianic society or from Christian society, so they are trying just to avoid to come to social service because it's very big problem for family, especially for children who can be taken out from family because of danger for the health and life. So it really can be a very big problem for many families.
Now you say you're serving the believers. Is abuse in the Christian home quite a big thing here in Israel?
I think it's not only in Israel. Violence against women, it's the biggest worldwide problem. And it occurs in any society, believers and non-believers, and all cultures and all religions and all nations. And the main roots of abuse and violence, it's inequality between women and men, and just attitude to women that lay us second hand. And in Christian society, sometimes it comes out from the opinion that woman should submit to husband, and it's all what she should do. But sometimes people use Bible like to support their own wrong opinions. And if we will read Ephesians chapter 5 verses from 25 to 27, and we can read, for example, a statement for men that men should love and respect his wife, and if he is not, God is not hearing his prayers. So sometimes people forget parts of Bible which is not less important than others.
So what sort of stories do you actually have to deal with?
All kind of stories, all kind of situations. For example, story of woman that she was battered and with 3 children escaped to shelter, and her husband left her. And when she left shelter, and she was such broken and such traumatized that she couldn't learn and she couldn't work, she couldn't do nothing. She was in caravan, then she was in the street because she had no money to pay for her rent. And the children had been taken to the dormitory school. And when we met with her 2 years ago, she was in very depressive situation, and social workers, they couldn't allow her to take care of children, and it was just additional shame and guilt for her. So we started therapy and counseling for her, and then we found sponsors supporting our work from Switzerland, and we made kind of contract with social service. I signed it, that we promised to pay through 2 years every month money for her rent and bills. And social workers, they changed the decision of the court, and children came back to her, and now she's living with 3 children, and she got apartment from the government. And this year we just spent to help her to reconcile with her children, just to restore her life like mother. And for next year we are planning to help her to learn something, and then we believe that she can stay on her own. And yeah.
Why would somebody actually want to stay with an abusive husband?
Because many women, they're afraid just to stay alone, and they are ready to suffer and just to do everything to save their family. They have hope that somewhere he will be changed and he will start new life and he will change the approach. They have hope, they have faith, they have love. Even for abusers, they're afraid to be alone. They're afraid they cannot manage. They're afraid because they have very low self-esteem. And we try just to help them to get out of this trap, and just to understand that God doesn't want women to be abused and to be battered and to suffer, and God doesn't want to see children crying, and it's very bad very bad testimony for children from fathers, especially believers, about faith and about God's figure, who is God, who is Yeshua, and who we are before Him. So I think it's a very, very painful, but somehow it's crucial issue for us like believers and for all our society in large.
Do you think sometimes Christian theology keeps women in a relationship? Like, for instance, she would never divorce because she feels that it would be wrong to divorce?
I think Yeshua didn't mean it when He came to us. I think Yeshua meant for us freedom, love, and peace. Not only in our family, not only in our society, first of all, in our hearts. And I think if Christian theology can support that kind of things, it's wrong theology. It's perverted theology. It's perversion of the Word of God.
So how can the church actually help in this area?
I think only church can help really, because many times we can see that it's not only psychological problems, it's less of love, less of respect, less of freedom, and sometimes it's kind of possession by bad spirits that we can see. And I believe that real help should include social assistance, psychological therapy, counseling, help in education, and spiritual support, just to pray for each other, to pray for deliverance, to pray for freedom and peace, to pray for repentance for husbands, reconciliation for families. I believe that only church and only congregation in the right way, doing right things, can help for families.
So you're actually helping the abused and the abuser?
Yeah, in our program we are helping for both sides. I'm giving counseling for men. Now I have about 8 men, and altogether it was 14 men that went through counseling through these few years that we started our work. And abuser needs not less help than abused, because nobody is doing so evil things because of happiness or peace or good life. All of them we are suffering in their childhood. All of them we are victims by themselves, and I see in everyone, in every man, somebody who is suffering, who is crying out, and has no ways to explain and to share or to show his pain. And definitely I believe that they need help, professional help, spiritual help, love and mercy, but very clear, strict borders, and very clear sharing responsibilities between people who is taking care of them, and very clear vision of where is good things and where is bad things, that they should know exactly what's good, what's bad, that they cannot use force, they cannot use control, they cannot use power in relations with women. It should be taken out, not only from families, but also from church policy.
So is it easy to counsel someone in this situation?
No. It's very, very difficult. It's big challenging for me personally, and many times I feel by myself all this burden, and I'm crying, and I feel just helpless. But it's also the point that we are believers. We have God, we have Yeshua, for whom I can come, and when I feel helpless, and when I feel that it's nothing to do for me, like sometimes social worker can help, or psychologist can feel, or social worker can feel. But when I feel that I cannot do nothing, I can come to God and ask His almighty power. And I saw so many miracles that I believe that God in here, it's His work.
Now, you've just taken on board a property for people to come, for the women to come to be sheltered, and I understand you've seen the hand of God's miraculous providing in that project. How has God provided for you in this?
I'm so happy to share because it was the most obvious example of His almighty presence in all this work. We have 24/5 prayer group from Korea. They are praying us in Jerusalem, and about 1 year ago, a woman who is leading this group, her name is Hevziba, she saw a vision. She saw a house with 3 floors, and she saw me and children and women around me. And she was sharing with me this vision, and I just forgot it. And about months ago, my friend found house with 3 floors in Kiryat Yovel, and I came and I immediately felt that it's just really something from God. And I was praying because it's very expensive, and I had no money. We had no money, and we have no money. We have only people who is ready to help us. And I started to pray, who can provide help for this apartment, for renting this apartment. And I started to pray, and after 2 or 3 days after I started to pray, she called me. She came back from China. She was 1 year in China, so she came back, and she came to me with a translator, and she started to ask me first of all about the house that she saw in her vision. And I said, we found this house, and it's exactly 3 floors, and she should come with me, and she should check first of all, is it from her vision or it's something different, because I can make mistake. I can just, my feelings can just mix my mind. So after a few days, we came together with Hevziba and the translator. We came to see this house. We came in, and I tried to introduce a landlord to her, but I saw that we are just watching at the wall. And on the wall, they saw the picture with hieroglyphs. And nobody knew before that it's hieroglyphs in Korean. It was written in Korean: faith, hope, and love. They saw it on the wall, and they felt on their knees and started to cry, because they didn't expect to see this kind of thing in Jerusalem on the wall in Korean. And for all of us, it was clear sign that this house from God, it's an amazing. And we asked from the landlord from where they got it. And he said, dear friends, we are traveling in Mexico. And they bought it in Mexico. And they brought it. So it's just such an amazing thing. So the sponsor, they promised to pay rent for this house for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and they promised to give for us guarantee letter that they will do it. So we have somebody who will pay rent, and then we have also sponsors from the States who is ready to pay Arnona and all bills for 5 years. So we have everything now, and we're just waiting now that landlord will find a place for him and for his wife. And yeah, it's the story of this house.
So what's your prayer now for people who are caught up in abuse?
My prayer for deliverance for them, for freedom. And they will take an action. They will take courage to get out, just to ask help. They should know that they're not alone. They should not afraid. They should not afraid of God. God is mercy and love, and God will help them.
So do you have an email address for anybody who needs help listening to this?
Yeah, sure. We have an email, and our address is very simple. It's machaseh@gmail.com. And I would be very happy to contact with anybody who is facing this problem or who is helping for others. I would be very glad to contact with other people who is in community action group like ours.
So I'll just repeat that email address again. It's machaseh@gmail.com.